So good morning, everybody. It's Guy here, and very welcome to the Heartfire Life Coaching. So I had this inspiration to offer this as two things: as a service to introduce this work to you and the world, and to also support us at these strange times of transition. So I'm going to be opening these on Saturday morning as much as I can, and willing to take questions. So if you've got questions, then pop them in the comments below the Facebook live stream, and I'll have a look at those and address as many as I can. And also the invitation is to come on the call with me. So if you'd like to do this for a 15-minute one-to-one session, life coaching session, then again, either send me a personal message or request it on the comments below, and I'll send you the link and book you in a time between now and 2 o'clock. We have one person, Yana, coming on at 12:45, so that's in about 7 minutes. And in between, what I'd like to do is to offer you some core principles of the Heartfire Life Coaching and some practices. So the first thing I'd like to do is just take a nice breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Before any coaching or any teaching or reminding, looking like this, just beginning from a place of connection. So I invite you, if you're watching this, just to also join as well. Nice big in breath through the nose, out breath through the mouth. As you breathe in, feel that you're gathering your energy, gathering your potency, gathering your life back together. So breathing in, harmonizing and balancing. Breathing out, letting go any stress, any tension. Just making space as you release the past. You're making space for the presence and the future of possibilities you're going to live into. So with this breath, breathing in your possibilities. As you breathe out, feel them flooding through your body. Just feeling a warm sense of connectedness, this relaxed state of presence, here-ness and now-ness, to be in this moment. So my eyes are going to be moving around a little bit because I'm also checking the Facebook feed to see if you've got any questions. Yeah. So feel free to jump in and ask any. And as I say, if you want to come on for a call, 15-minute, which will be recorded and broadcast later, then let me know. So I was walking in Praha today, Czech Republic, and on one of the windows was a poster, and it was about having the passion to do what you love in life, to do what you love, and how doing what you love gives you energy. Gives you energy, gives you enthusiasm, gives you a sense of purpose and meaning. And so the secret here, the secret key is to discover what you love. And this often leads into what you're good at, where your talent base is, where your gifts and resources are. But underneath all of that is the energy of passion, enthusiasm, and desire. Simply put, as living the life that you love. So for me, part of the journey around awakening and what I'm inspiring and inviting you into in Heartfire Life Coaching is this reconnection with yourself. This place of discovering and relaxing into the core of you, into the heart of you, and learning to wake up this place inside of us, this little bright light, as we give more and more attention to it, grows and expands and becomes stronger and richer and more beautiful and more potent. It's a real invitation to give attention to the luminosity that we are, to the brightness that we are, to the heart that we are. So easy to get caught up in the drama of mind, in the stories and beliefs and conditions and what's happening in the world and media and all these things, and to lose touch with the obviousness of our own experience. So taking time to come into connection with yourself. And this is what I'm referring to as the heart fire. heart fire, coming back into your essential heart fire, which burns. It's not an idea, it's not a fantasy. It's a direct experience of connecting with who and how you are. So maybe just take a nice breath into that place inside you where you can relax into the fullness of your energy. So nice big breath in, big breath out. So you're breathing into heart space, feeling the spaciousness of your interior inner landscape. I really invite you just to simply follow the breath. So if thinking arises, just give attention just for a minute or so, just to the breathing process. Comes in through the nostrils, out through the mouth. And you're searching for that place inside of you, the heart fire, the awake luminosity, the brightness, place of knowing. So breathing into the middle of your chest and relaxing. Just one more breath in, nice big breath. Put your belly in your lungs, and relax. So just before our first caller comes on, just to remind us of a very simple principle that I'm sure you're aware of, or I've heard some version of this. It's to do with the power of focus. So the way I speak it is this. Is where we give our attention, our energy goes. And where our attention goes, our experience manifests, or our life happens. So if we pay attention to things, give our attention, give our focus, give our presence, energy follows what we're gazing upon, where we're placing our interest, where we're showing up, where we're giving our presence. And in the showing up process, in the attending to process, energy builds. And the more the energy builds, the more we amplify and activate the experience that we're focused into. It's a very, very simple principle. Where we focus, energy goes. Where energy goes, experience happens. I want you to explore for yourself during this call, and also invite you to bring this into what you can consider homework, or take this beyond this call, is to notice where you're occupying your attention. Where are you placing your attention? And I want you to notice the energetic quality that is arising in your experience, the emotional quality, the way of being, as a consequence of placing your focus in that specific direction or point, or media post, or thought, or feeling, or person, or relationship, or sky, or sea, or flower, or painting. Wherever you place your attention, just notice the quality of energy that follows that. And in that quality of energy, that's where we're having our experience. Our experience is qualitative. It's not really to do with the objects at all. It's to do with the energetic feeling, emotion, sensation, presence that we're currently occupying. Okay, so I'm just going to give a call out to Yana, who said she wants to come on the call, and we'll just send her a message. Great. Okay, so Yana's coming on. Hey, Yana. So first of all, so thank you very much for responding so spontaneously.
Yes, I'm very spontaneous, and thank you for this offer. I have my wet hair, you know. It's very spontaneous.
Very good, very good. Yeah. Also, this offering is also spontaneous. So just to let you know, we're on the same vibe there. This came as an inspiration this morning.
Yeah.
I love to initiate new things. So you're the first. So thank you very much for.
Seems we are somehow connected, because I was searching for something like that.
Brilliant.
Thank you for responding.
Fantastic. Okay, so I know you've asked me your question privately on the messenger, but we're recording now, so I just really invite you, if you want to offer your question, and then we'll get into it.
I would like to embody my soul because I feel it's somewhere there and I feel it time to time already, but I'm somehow unable still yet to make it practically manifest in my life. And you spoke about it. I'm not putting the energy there yet because I'm somehow not trusting enough or don't have so much confidence that I can do this really.
Wow.
So,
Yeah. Well, this is obviously a huge question, an existential one.
yeah.
We'll see what we can dive into in the next few minutes. Yeah. So first of all, just to invite you, just with me, just take a moment, close your eyes, just take a nice big breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Yeah, just relaxing. Just relax right where you are. And just also, as you're relaxing, just also give yourself some gratitude for daring to ask the question, become visible in its asking. So maybe you heard just now as I was introducing the call, there's a principle I like to work with. It's the way you place your attention, energy goes. Where energy goes, experience happens. So the very fact that you're asking the question is you are giving attention and energy goes, and then this experience happens. So you call it in. So I just want to remind and reflect that to you and anyone listening, the power of manifestation. And in your case, it's very quick. This will happen within 15 minutes. Your response. So there's something I'd like to ask you first of all. Is the word soul obviously has many different meanings and implications to many people. So before I assume anything, just to be a consideration, what does that mean for you, though, the word soul?
I would say it's some part of my being, the core.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's somewhere. I feel it's present very much lately,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm really grateful for. And but it's still something very abstract for me. But I really believe it's the engine for me, for my being.
So just what I'm hearing there is for you, it's to do with your core, your heart core, your essence, foundation. And sometimes you're aware of it, sometimes you're present with it, and sometimes you're not. And it sounds to me some curiosity around, where is it, how to access it, how to be that more often. So I'll just give a map first of all, just a map of how a consideration, and a map is not a truth. A map is an inquiry. For me, there are no hard truths in the external world because everything's in flux and change the whole time. Yeah. So there's a channeled teacher called Ramtho who says the menu is not food. I like this. So, in the same way, the map is not the territory, but it is. It's maybe useful to have a map. It's a description. It's a beginning place. Now, the first map I'd like to present to you is what I call the Jacob's ladder map, or the multidimensional being map of being human. So if you imagine a ladder, a rainbow ladder, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, the chakra map, from the ground to the sky. And this spinal column, or this tree of life, represents you and all of us. Now, the first three colors represent the three-dimensional world. And the three-dimensional world is largely understood and felt as survival, power, sexuality, and personality. This is usually the domain of what most people consider it to be human. So this is from the base, the ground of us, to the solar plexus. And it's all about our physical embodiment. Yeah? Is this clear for you? Any questions? So please interrupt me or ask if there's anything.
No,
That's good. Yeah.
I see.
Okay, good. So then we move from the solar plexus to the heart and the throat and the brow and the crown center. And these are often considered to what people call spiritual. So we have what we call physical and spiritual. Now, in my map, it's all spiritual. It's all life. It's all energy. It's all the quantum field. There is no division between lower and higher, really. It's a descriptive mechanism. And when you start to recognize this, perhaps what you consider soul, this is just a consideration, is all of it. Yeah, from the sky to the ground. Perhaps it's a continuum. Yeah, just to invite the possibility of exploring this. That the soul is not something that lives in the halo, in the crown, that doesn't live somewhere else. It lives there, but equally lives here, 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 here. Because maybe the soul is the very heart of us, is the experiencer right here, right now, that you are, that I am, that we are in this communication, is the one having this experience. And it's having an experience through a mind, through a body, through emotion, through relationship, through circumstance. So this internal map is one which, for me personally, supports the knowingness that I am the constant. There's an I amness about me, about you, about everything that is constant. And it's not easily grasped as a thing because it's awareness. Yeah? It's the present awareness that you are. So I'm saying all this because for me it's just this consideration of soul, the way it was often presented in the ancient Greeks and other philosophers and psychologists and teachers along the way, is that it's something else. It's like it's some object that you are here to discover your soul. And for me, that very approach at the very beginning is mistaken because it starts from separation. There's a me here, there's a soul over there, and I've got to do something to get from here to here. And then when I get there, what happens to the me that was here? Is that the end? Is that what people call ego death? Do I then become this? So for me, the method doesn't match the map that I've just presented you. Yeah? The old method is one of separation, division, and a journey from here to here to here to here, yeah? With measures and stages and states and all these different things. How about if it's much, much, much more simple than this? And just the consideration that it is childlike. It's that innocent. It's that clean and clear. It's to do with your heart presence. Maybe your soul is more simply about being here and now. And that doesn't require a search. That requires a dropping of the search. You know?
Yeah.
How does that feel for you? Just this context.
Yeah, it's I agree. I'm concentrating lately on connecting all those parts, like soul, body, mind, energy, emotions. Yeah.
Who do you feel is the one who's connecting them? Who's the one connecting
them? Me?
Isn't it? Okay, there's a regular teacher that I studied with years ago called John Deruta, Canadian mystic philosopher. Yeah? And he's the first person I heard say that the mind, body, emotions are surface vehicles. They're vehicles like a car or instruments. Yeah? Now, in traditional meditation, the whole journey is about detaching from the instruments to recognize the one who is the flute player. You know, it's the process of meditation is coming back to the experiencer. Yeah? So when you're driving your nice car, you don't say, I am the car. You say, I'm the driver driving the car. But somehow when we get into the body car, we say, I am the body, I am the mind, I'm the emotion. And we identify with all of this as it's us. Yeah? And this is the common illusion of presence. You know, because we physically show up as an identity, we assume this is what we are. Yeah? But as you know, your body's aged and changed and shapes and forms, and one day the body will perish and pass. Yeah? But somehow within all of this, the experience that you've been having, I've been having, we all have, there's an I amness. There's a sense of awareness. I don't know how it is for you, but there was a continuous sense for me, being a child or adolescent, that I was always here. That was like a common feeling. And it is right now. I am here, and I don't need a story to support that. So that's what I'm talking about, the simplicity. Yeah? We have been fooled a little bit into this idea we've got to get somewhere. We've got to get something. We've got to become something. And so we go on this desperate chase. I'm not enough. I'm not enough. I need more. I need this. I need my soul. I need some money. I need some relationship. I need something. And what I'm inviting you to is to like reverse engineer the whole problem and come back to the original solution, which never left you. That you are in fact here right now. And the only problem that I see happening here is that you've got an idea that you're not here. Sorry. You have an idea that you are somewhere else. Okay? So part of this, I mean, I know we've only got a short time right now, but what I would invite you into is a consideration of what you believe to be true about soul. Yeah, you could even write a list down a bit later. It's like, these are the ideas and beliefs that I've been taught by, my friends, family, religion, culture, books, teachers, and this idea, and start to see the concept, the conceptualization of an idea. And then start to notice how much you believe in those ideas. Like if you were to scale them 0 to 10, it's like, such and such says this, I align with that, there's resonance, this person, really don't go there. Yeah? So you start to get an internal map of your own belief systems. Now there's a principle, which I'll talk about a bit later today as well, is that behavior follows belief. What we believe in, we behave from. Yeah? So if you've got a belief that the soul is over there, your behavior is going to be, I'm looking over there. If you can transcend belief, and recognize that belief is just a vehicle, it's just a movement of mind. If you can drop the conversation of belief needing to be present. So imagine this moment where there's no belief needed to exist. Right? But you don't need any approval, validation, recognition, anything. You already exist. There's a you-ness existing already here and now. I'm so blessed. I've got an 8-month-old daughter, and she's in this continuous state of just being here. And she just shows up in her reality of her. And I know she's not seeking this or doing this or behaving because of this, because she just hasn't got that. Those ideas haven't been formulated in the brain yet. But for most human beings, we've formulated a whole lot of ideas, and I don't mean this rudely, but it's like there's a whole lot of nonsense in there. There's a jumbled up confusion of it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. And perhaps it's none of that. Perhaps it really is the simple obviousness of presence. And if you want to call it something, you could call it soul. You could call it authenticity. You could call it heart. You could call it I'm just here. Or you just don't call it anything. You just breathe in, breathe out, and exist. Yeah. So how's this going in with you? Is it stimulating any other thoughts or questions?
Yeah, actually, these are the moments when I feel it's here.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm present, when I'm fully present.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just it.
See, then
be more present more often.
There's a different question that rises then, see, which is not I'm looking for my soul, but what is keeping me from presence?
Mm.
So if you go along with, and I'm not asking you to believe me, I don't want you to believe anything I say is true. I don't want you to believe anything is true. I mean, there is no external truth. It's all relative. It's either it's all true, or it's just all relativity. Yeah? But not to get overly bothered by the expression. The menu is not the food. Right? It's just a metaphor. So this sensation that if I believe the soul's over there, my behavior is going to follow that action. And I'm going to set up a great quest to go and find the over there. In a master, a teacher in India, in Tibet, somewhere else, in a book, in a workshop. I spend my whole life on this quest, seeking the over there. Not recognizing that I've set up the whole game by my beliefs. I've like a game of football. There's rules. There's a football pitch. There's teams. You set up the game. You play the game. Yeah? If you set up a game of ice hockey on a football pitch, it doesn't work. Yeah. So you set up the right game with the right behavior. They coordinate. Now you might have a very strong belief that it is this. I'm absolutely committed. The soul's over there. I resonate with Plato. I need to go and find it up the mountain. And you go up the mountain, and you probably will find something because of the power of belief. Yeah. But then there's a question: is like, did you even need to go up the mountain to find that, or maybe you could just have changed or transcended the belief in the first place? Yeah. Now, I spent years and years studying the mechanism of mind and thought and projection and perception, because for me this is the key. Yeah. Is to notice all the times I've fallen down my own rabbit hole. Do you understand what I mean by that? It's like, I'm living my life, and then a belief comes up that this person doesn't like me, right? For example. Yeah? And then you start to behave according to, they've got loads of expectations about me. You start to adapt your behavior. And then you start to second guess what they're going to say to you or how you appear. And then suddenly this person becomes a problem. Now, one day you decide to actually have a conversation with this person and really just express everything you think they think about you. And so you face the beliefs that you've been having. And the other person speaks to you and says, no, I don't have any of that. I like you, you're my friend, I'm connected to you, I'm here and present. I was wondering why you're behaving so peculiarly around me. And you start to notice this projection field. Yeah? There's a field of projection that we put out into the world. We see through a filter. And it's the same thing with the soul. The soul becomes like a pair of glasses that we put on that filters our clear seeing. So I invite you to explore a new question, which is, what is distracting me from presence? If presence is where you feel most fully alive, where you feel satisfied, content, at peace, relaxed, love, beauty, easiness, just your natural human heart is open in the relaxedness of being here, then what is more interesting than that? What is taking you away from that, and why is it taking you away? So how does that land when you start to ask the question slightly differently?
Yeah, of course, the mind comes with the troubles for the future and so on.
So just notice that. So just notice the mind is projecting troubles for the future. But don't do anything more with it in this moment other than just notice it. Okay. So I would even, you could even say to yourself, either out loud or internally, is that I notice that there's a thought of troubles for the future. Yeah. Right now, just to take a step back in and get curious, who's noticing? That's right. Right. Now, just to be a consideration, is the one noticing in any problem?
Sorry again?
Is the one that's noticing in any problem?
No.
Right. So there's you. Right. So there's you with no problem.
Yeah.
Noticing problems in the future.
Yeah.
Is it? So for me, it is quite amusing when you I mean, what people call spiritual practice, and it doesn't have to be called that. For me, it's just awakening. Again, menu's not food. It's not the name. It's the activity that's important. The activity of noticing, for me, is actually quite humorous. When you start to recognize that you've been traveling down all these paths exterior, believing them, committing to them, giving energy to them, and recognizing it was all constructed out of a belief. It was never true in the first place. I've had various moments where like my mind has been wiped. Yeah? It's like I've had sort of revelation moments where it's like blinding lights come along and just like reset my brain. And the things that I was attached to or committed to is like, this is the truth. I just see the humor in it. And I generally don't believe anything. Yeah, and it doesn't mean that I'm not using the faculty of mind. It's just I'm not overly attached to it or burdened by it. And so I use my mind more as a descriptive, facility. It's great for describing. It's useful for speaking to you. It serves a function, but I don't give it any more power than that. I don't give it the power to define my existence. And that's quite significant. If you breathe into that, is that you don't give your mind the power to give you your existence, then you start to realize if I'm not giving my mind that power, then I don't need any power to give me I already exist. You see? I'm already in existence. So a practice, if you like, and I don't want you to get overly dedicated to a practice again, because that would be another attachment. It's just to notice when your thoughts run away with you. And the first stage is I notice my thoughts are running away with me. And see if you can train yourself with like a ninja awareness to catch it quickly. Right? Catch the judgment, catch the opinion, catch the belief as soon as you can, right? Because as I've said to you before, and you can also track this in your own experience, belief becomes behavior. Right? Now, I don't just mean behavior, it also becomes emotion, sensation, energy in the body. Right? So if I genuinely believe that, there's a group of tigers in the room that are out to kill me, I'm going to start generating adrenaline in my system. Yeah. And at night time, sometimes I twitch and jump because you're actually dreaming it and you're creating physiology as you're dreaming things. Your body is reacting, responding to what you believe to be true. So the quicker you catch it, you actually stop the hormonal flow. That you stop the need to produce anger or over adrenaline or cortisol in the system. It's like you inhibit it early on. So the more you catch yourself in these thinking away from yourself, and then get interested in the one noticing, to really start to really allow you to be more here.
Can I have a note to this?
Of course.
Because what you say, I completely agree with this, and I went through, because I'm the same. I don't believe what somebody says. I need to go through with my experience, and I've experienced this exactly what you're saying. But I had this belief that I have to change my belief to become something else, to become my true self.
Great.
So that was another false belief that I tried to chase.
It's not even that it's false, right? It's like all belief is false.
Yeah.
Because it's a secondary phenomenon. It's secondary. Do you see? I'm having an experience. I've discovered for myself that I choose to use belief as a descriptive mechanism. For me, that's a good place to utilize belief. Okay? I'm using the belief of Jacob's ladder and the multidimensional map because it's useful to communicate something. Okay? I'm not going to get attached to it and say this is the way, make a new religion of it. It's just that it's a useful descriptive mechanism. It's a model. It's a working theory in which I can have a deeper experience of something. So it's like you create a frame around something, and that frame gives you a container in which to have that experience for that moment in time. Once you've had that moment of experience, you move on to a new frame, and a new frame, and you start to gather more and more experiences, more and more knowings, direct knowings. So for me, it's very useful to work with belief, but as your ally. In most people's cases, belief is unconscious and perceived as the enemy. Like I'm full of racism or isms or judgments or opinions or reactions or past trauma or wounding, and the unconscious, which has not been thoroughly explored from the light of presence, keeps causing this behavior or response. So when you least expect it, you get raging jealousy or insecurity or low self-esteem. These are arising from what I call default beliefs. They're on default. That's when you put on the computer, certain things load up in the background which you don't necessarily want to use. I keep having to click them off. And it's a bit like that. I'm just not clicking off some of the unconscious. So it remanifests again and tells me, the tree is purple. When the tree clearly isn't purple, but I believe it because that's what I've always been believing. So this is where the work is, to start to listening and noticing. That's what I always encourage myself and other people to do, is to notice what you're projecting. Notice the story you're telling yourself. And then, notice it, and then come back to the one noticing. And then just take a break. Then just okay, I've done enough noticing now. I've now explored some of the content of consciousness I've been believing in over seriously. And now I'm going to take my attention off it and just be the one who's in attention. I'm now just going to pay attention, which is another way of saying I'm now present. So I'm presently here with you, and presently here in myself and with the room and the space, without any agenda or need to do anything with it, or you or the space or anything. I'm just here. So I haven't been watching the time, but I'm probably aware that's 15 minutes. I'm guessing. Is there anything you'd like to just conclude as insight or realization or take-home things, something you can apply from what we've just shared?
I'm very much into honesty, so can I note? I feel I've got so much information from you that my mind is overwhelmed. So I had less time to just be, and I will take it now.
Yeah, I made a decision on that. And if we have another moment, then maybe I'll make a different decision. Is that I've never met you like this before, and I'm aware that we've got a short space of time, and this is also recorded, so you can also see it again later. And I just want to give you a condensed download of awareness, information, and practice, which you can digest the food more slowly now. If this were a session, which would be probably a 2-hour session, then we would go forward in a much more relaxed way. There'd be more listening, more space, more breath, more exploration, more time, yeah? More discovering what has just been shared. Yeah? So I apologize a little bit for the compressed intensity of squeezing things in, and also appreciate the fact that you also bring the awareness. I need some time now to digest, integrate, relax into this, and see what it does with me.
I think my belief about coaching went in, so that's again like.
Oh, interesting.
But I'm really happy for this opportunity, Guy, and thank you for your offer, because I think it brought me a lot. So I hope for you too.
Well, listen, absolutely, and also just reminding, we are live right now, so it looks like it's just the two of us in the room, but I know other people are watching. Other people will watch. So also just want to acknowledge your courage for stepping in and becoming visible in like a hugely important question, which I receive as, what is the nature of my reality? It's like I hear the biggest question underneath the question. It's not like I just want to go and find my soul because I want to go and find a new restaurant. I want my soul because I want to be in the power of my existence. What I call soul, my heart, my fire, my internal beauty, my aliveness. Is that everything else that comes from that? Everything after that, for me, is a secondary movement. Relationship, expression, work, money, whatever. For me, the primary movement is to wake up to your soul, your heart, your energy, the vital enthusiasm. And as that settles in, everything else makes sense. When that's not settled in, nothing makes sense. And that's my view. Everything else is like a plaster wound. You're fixing and adjusting different bits and pieces.
Yeah. And how do you do it? Go to your heart and to your presence?
Yeah, I mean, for years and years I meditated. That was one. For about 10 years I was on quite a rigorous internal practice of breath and focus and reconnection to discover different levels of consciousness and energy in myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the process of meditation. It's empowering. It's not borrowing someone else's teaching. It's you on your mat or wherever you are doing it. It's between you and the universe. It's direct path. And I like that. There's something about me which is a little bit stubborn, a bit independent, and wants to do it my way and doesn't. And I support that. I support that natural willfulness and uniqueness in myself and others. Which is why I keep telling you, don't believe me. Don't believe what I'm saying. But,
share your beliefs.
Don't believe it. So take it lightly. It's just a menu. So one approach for me is meditation. Another approach has been what I call conscious relating. And conscious simply means being conscious while you're relating. This is not a very profound technique. Am I unconscious? And unconscious means, am I triggered? Am I reactive? Do I believe you're my mum or an ex-lover or someone different here? So it's like noticing the projections, becoming more conscious. And in becoming more conscious in relationship with others, I become more conscious of my own internal relationship with my own beliefs, my own thoughts, my own emotions and sensations. This is often called self-inquiry. Meditation, in a sense, is like, for me, the pure form of connection to your luminosity. That's how I'd consider that approach. More than an approach, it's a complete way of being. And self-inquiry is more of a process of what I've just described with you about witnessing and watching. Yeah? Noticing, and then coming back to the one noticing, and then resting there. So I see I'm believing this, I see it, now I can let it go, because I've seen it. Right? It's interesting, it's curious, it gives me some information. I don't need it anymore now. I'm going to come back to the one noticing. But then I'm going to drop into what people search for, which is called silence. Yeah? And the silence is already here, always. It's to be discovered. And the other main practice I use is dance. For me to weave it through the body. Because sometimes you can enter into different states of consciousness and energy, which are very bright and light and beautiful. But you don't necessarily feel it all the way into your guts and feet and ground and relationships and work and world. And for me, that is the real work of such a thing as work, is to integrate the beauty of the heart into the next moment, into how you wash the dishes, how you clean the house, how you take care of your kids. It's how to ground it into the everyday beautiful ordinariness of being human. Or else it doesn't make any sense to me. It's like to leave it as some abstract idea or some phenomenal experience So the dance floor for me has been like the leveling ground. Because for me, you can't lie on the dance floor. Your body speaks the truth of consciousness. Your body shows the vibration of energy. And anyone who's sensitive can read that and feel that and respond to that. And so it's been my way of anchoring all the things I see and know, but in a real physical dance. And then to apply that in relationship. That's my whole life journey in 3 minutes.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for asking. I appreciate that.
I feel released, like in my body, when you're speaking like that.
Yeah, great. No, I really, really, really appreciate that. And it's also a commitment of mine to be, some people call it vulnerable. I don't particularly see it as that. It's just more open-hearted and honest and direct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the last thing I want to be is a teacher, or it's strange to say to be a coach. I want to be a coach, but I don't want to be a coach in the sense of identifying as that. No, I really feel that these are costumes that we wear. I'm a coach, a yoga teacher, a football trainer, whatever you're doing. These are costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Underneath the costume, we're all here in this together. I'm a human being. I'm your brother, you're my sister. We're allies on the path of life. And when we start to get into that place, then we stop positioning and playing games. The role-playing games that people often get caught up in. So yeah, I love the dynamic of coaching because it involves relationship, engagement, connection, expression. But at the same time, I also see it's a tool. It's an instrument. And we don't actually need the instrument at a deeper level when you get the power of presence. During sessions, you maybe feel it a little bit now, because we'll talk, then we'll do a practice, then we'll drop into silence, and then there'll be inquiry and reflection and digesting time, and just letting everything settle. So for me, the way of learning is like you do a bit of learning, then you integrate, you do a bit more learning, integrate. And it's really necessary to have those pausing spaces. Which is why it's probably a good idea for us to close with a pausing space. Should we do that?
Mm-hmm.
Should we have a little pause? And just to invite you just to close your eyes. And anyone who's listening online as well, who's also being connected with this conversation, gently closing your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Then releasing out through the mouth. And again, gathering the breath through the nose. Feel the sensation in your nostrils. And relaxing. And as you're breathing in, feel yourself filling up with awareness. Feel it spreading through your whole body. Your toes and knees and pelvis and back is all becoming awake and aware. So the breath brings life. Breathing in. So we're breathing now. Let's breathe with the mind. Let's include the instrument, the mind, and breathe life into the mind, and give gratitude for the mind for being what it is and how it functions and serves us. Breathing into the mind. Really honoring the place of beliefs and thoughts, even the place of projection and judgment and discernment, noticing how it all functions and operates, and giving thanks for the possibilities that we can have in mind to communicate through. Breathing in and relaxing. Breathe in a little bit deeper and see if you can invite the mind to relax some of the attachments that we have to, like, where we insist upon beliefs or behaviors. So breathing in and feel the relaxation in the out breath. And bringing your attention to your belly now. It's a nice big in breath, feel the belly expanding and relaxing. Just start to notice the experience that you're having in your body. Emotion, sensation, heat, coldness, tingling. Breathing in. Breathing out. And again, really celebrating our bodies instruments of expression through our embodied experience. So as you breathe in, invite you to breathe in the gratitude of being in the body. Breathing out, relaxing. And giving thanks to the body. All the time the body's being in tension or stress or holding, just breathe in and feel it letting go very, very deeply. You can relax now. So the awareness we're bringing is, I am here now. You can relax now. You can relax the tension of the mind, relax the tension of the body. The master is in the house. You're here in your experience as the experiencer. Breathing into you. I have this sensation that all of you is breathing all at once, everywhere. So imagine there's a sphere of light around you. Everything is breathing. Everything is relaxing. Breathing in, feeling that fullness, the goldenness, the presence. Just beginning to open into the awareness that everywhere the experience is, I am here, I am now. Whether I call it soul or heart or authenticity, I am here alive in this moment, and I'm grateful for this. Just very, very softly, keeping this connection to what you're feeling right now, just gently opening the eyes. Let's come back into this connection here. Just keep the eyes soft as well. Just notice the peripheral vision. So just as you open your eyes, just invite you for a moment just to scan around your room, but with this sense of awareness that you're present in. Breathe in, just feel that you're also spreading your awareness into the room. So your room is not just a detached place, that you're filling up your room right now with your presence. So a nice begin with, and feel it expanding beyond the room. Feel it expanding into all the relationship you have, the work you have, the dreams and visions you have. Feel that your I amness is spreading into you and connecting with everything that you're dreaming, everything you're in relationship, everyone you're in relationship with. I'm really inviting in a prayer or an intention to stay more awake as you are, more alive in your wholeness, and relaxing those times that there's tension of thought or projection of thought. Just forgive yourself very quickly. I did that again, coming back to here, and in a way just retraining and remembering into that place where you no longer need to do that, where you're just here, just here.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Amy.
Thank you very much too.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of the day.
And good luck and love for your day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.